Bro, I'm a black American. I'm a proud black American on both sides of my family, through and through. Sharecropping. The Carolinas. Clarksdale, Mississippi, which the movie Sinners is about. Go check that out. My great-grandfather was a sharecropper in Arkansas. He was born in Clarksdale, Mississippi. His parents were sharecroppers. Their parents were slaves via West Africa, the South, the dirty, dirty South.
Yo my people, it's your boy Iyano Shoki. I just want to appreciate you guys for just tuning in. In case you are new here, you are at the right place. So guys, there is a story about African Americans appreciating and proud to be black Americans. So here are some of the reaction of the black Americans people and the African American coming out clearly to say that they are proud to be black Americans, and they have given their reason why they are proud to be black Americans. They say that America is home. They don't know any place other than America. So their ancestors and their grandfathers, their fathers are there in America. So they are proud and happy to be called black Americans and to be called U.S. citizens. So here are some of the reaction of these black Americans reacting to saying that they are proud to be black Americans. So in case you are new here, just continue subscribing, commenting, and guys, share the video.
Bro, I'm a black American. I'm a proud black American on both sides of my family, through and through. Sharecropping. The Carolinas. Clarksdale, Mississippi, which the movie Sinners is about. Go check that out. My great-grandfather was a sharecropper in Arkansas. He was born in Clarksdale, Mississippi. His parents were sharecroppers. Their parents were slaves via West Africa, the South, the dirty, dirty South. I am a black American through and through on both sides of my family. I'm a proud black American. I'm a proud African American. And by y'all logic, I am an FBA, but I will not call myself an FBA because I don't agree with the rhetoric. And y'all got to stop thinking because people don't agree with y'all that we not black Americans. We are black Americans and we are proud. We are Africans. We are just a different type of Africans, but we are Africans.
And this is why I really don't be liking black people's spiritual posts like that, because they always have that mentality like, oh, we're the true indigenous people. And then I'm like, oop, let me take that like back. And the video will have a whole bunch of likes and views and everything. And I'm like, okay, this video, hey, until they say that one thing, because we didn't go to slave ships. We're the true indigenous. And I'm just like, oh, unlike block you, because no.
Listen, if I gotta be called an African American, why Jamaican don't gotta be called African Jamaican, African Haitian, African Cuban, African Dominican? Why is America the only place where this colored people gotta call themselves African American? Then they try to make it seem like we hate ourselves. Then everybody else hate themselves too, because nobody else is putting African in front of their shit. We could be indigenous all around the world, except for America. America's the only place that black people isn't. Everybody else get to claim their land. Even with that Moana movie, and people was like, oh, they're black. And they was like, oh, we don't consider ourselves black, or we don't consider ourselves African. We're not of African descent. Nobody bothered them. Nobody bothered them. But somehow black Americans is on y'all mind so much that y'all want to tell us we African American. Well, y'all put African in front of all of y'all stuff and then maybe we'll follow suit. Not going to bully me into something I don't want to motherfucker do. What's wrong with y'all? And don't come in my comments with that bullshit, okay? If you haven't done your genealogy or your motherfucking research, don't come in my shit talking shit. I will block you.
Hello. Just like all y'all was surrounded, came out the woodworks, and everybody and their mama, auntie, cousins, nephews, uncles, sisters, TTs, grandmas, how y'all was all at that Shein store when it opened. That's the type of energy that we need for our people, for ourselves, for our own. When you see a black business opening, or hell, your cousin, your somebody, anybody black doing something, The way y'all supported that Shein store in Atlanta, that's black power. That's black power. Black dollar. Like, if you really, really think about it, if majority of the people in the world are black, right? And we spend our money on any and everybody's things, stuff, races, all the other races. We spend our money and support all of that. The black dollar is circulating through all the races except ours. Do y'all understand that? I know I'm terrible at explaining things, but the black dollar is circulating everywhere but throughout our community. Okay, so it starts with us. There's nothing anybody outside of our race can do to help us but us. Like, and it starts with the small act of just supporting any and everybody because they're black. That's it. We get shot because we're black. We get discriminated on because we're black. I get treated differently all the time because I'm black. So what we need to do as black people is treat our people different. And by different, I mean differently than what we've been doing. Like, collectively, we need to know that it starts with us fucking with each other, loving each other, sticking together like we used to. It's a reason why they divided us. There's a reason. So I say that to say this. It starts small. Love that person because they black. Fuck with that person because they're black. Do good business with that person because they're black. Pick that person because they're black. You get what I'm saying? And so on, and so on, and so on. Do everything good under the sun to your people because they're black. Fuck with that person because they're black. And this goes the other way too. Don't fuck over a black person. Don't disrespect a black person. Don't do anything negative because they're black. You get my drift? You get where I'm going with this? All right.
I am a proud African American. Have you even been to Africa before? I have now. The land of my ancestors. Now what?
Due to all the hate and negativity being sent towards Black Americans, I think it is more than clear that we need to focus on ourselves. We started with the YT community justifying their racism and trying to colonize Black fatigue and use it for themselves to say they're tired of us. We had the Hispanics saying that once ICE is done with them, they're going to come for Black people. They also can't stop saying the N-word. Now we have Africans saying that we are xenophobic because we are showing that we have our own culture and our own identity, and we want people to respect that. And everybody has an issue with us. And still we stand. Still we are resilient. Still we embody our ancestors. Now, when I say we need to focus on ourselves, that absolutely does not mean attack people. I don't believe in that unless they attack you first. That's different. Protect yourself at all costs. But what I mean by pro-Black, because pro-Black does not mean anti-anything. It means exactly what it says. It means pro-Black. We have to start being for us. It has to be for us and by us. By us and for us. However you want to rearrange the words. We have to put into our community and we have to grow it back to what we once were. We have to show everybody who we are. And by that alone, they're going to find the respect for us. They're going to want us because they already want us now. And we're not even at our highest level. We're not even at our highest frequency. So we need to focus on Black Americans and Black Americans only.
So I was out in Houston like 2 weeks ago, and I went to this bar, and this African guy walked up to me, and he was like, "Hey, Nigerian girl," and I just looked at him like, "Huh?" And he was like, "Yeah, you look like an Igbo girl. Aren't you Nigerian?" And I said, "No, I'm from America." And he was like, "You just don't know where you're from." And the thing about that is, I hate when people say stuff like that because, yes, I do know where I'm from. I'm from America. I was born and raised in America. My ancestors, are from, Africa or different parts of wherever that I don't exactly know where they're from. But me, I was born and raised over here. My mom was born and raised over here. My daddy was. My grandma was. My great grandma was. Like, we're all from America. So yes, I do know where I'm from. I'm from America. Do you walk up to black British girls and say, hey, you look like in such and such? And then when they say no, I'm British, and then you're like, you just don't know where you're from. No, y'all only do that to American black women. Like, yes, I know exactly where I'm from. I was born and raised in America. Okay? I don't know why people think that black American people don't have culture. We do. We have a lot of culture that people try to steal too and emulate. There's different parts of, there's like 50 states in America. Each state has its own culture and own way of doing stuff, own style, own dances, own, like, everything. The only thing about it is we don't really be thinking of it as culture. We just be living life. Like, growing up and stuff, like, I'm from Mississippi, and growing up and stuff, I didn't realize, like, that my way of living was culture. I was just going through life, just living, just doing things, and just, stuff that was passed down to me from my grandma and my parents and stuff like that. I didn't think of it as like culture or as like, I don't know, tradition. I guess tradition, yeah, but I just didn't think about it. I didn't realize it was culture, like the way we dance, the way we cook things, the way we talk, our accents, stuff like that. Like, you don't think of it as culture because that's your everyday life. Some of us are not loud about it. We just live in it. So yeah, black Americans absolutely 100% have culture, and we know where we from. I'm from America. I'm a black American. I'm proud to be a black American. And I think that people think that, like, a black person taking pride in being from America means that you are in cahoots with white America. No, black American culture and white America are two totally different things. Those are two totally different things. It's a layered subject, and black American culture is very layered because, like I said, each region, each state has its own different style, own different flavor, everything. You can't group us all in as one. Like, it's a big melting pot. Each state, each city has its own little culture, and I don't think one specific thing represents black American culture. It's a bunch of shit. Okay, so, like, no, I'm not an Igbo girl. Maybe I look like them. They are beautiful, but I'm from America. I'm a black American, and I'm proud of that. And I feel like black American culture has so much history and resilience tied to it, like, especially in Mississippi. Like, a lot of the stuff, like the way we cook and the way we do things is like strict, like, it's from survival. Like for instance, growing up, even the way we cook and stuff, like, I know that, like, stuff like, it's not healthy for you, don't get it twisted, but it's just the fact that my ancestors and my grandparents and stuff, like, they took things and, like, they made something out of nothing because that's what they had to do. You know what I mean? And all that stuff got passed down. And is it healthy for you necessarily? Not really. But it's just the fact that, like, people really had to make a way out of no way. And that's something to be proud of. They did a lot of stuff because they was trying to survive, So I'm proud to be American. Why would I want to be anything else other than what I actually am? Like, is there a lot of, like, trauma and stuff tied to it? Yeah. But at the end of the day, that's where I'm from. That's who I am. It is what it is. Another example is like how like slaves came to America and they had to convert to Christianity, but they had certain practices like, you know, hoodoo and stuff like that, but they weren't allowed to practice that stuff, so they had to be like secretive about it. And I just remember growing up, my grandma used to like have certain superstitions. Like whenever I used to do her hair, like I always did my grandma hair. And she always wanted me to braid her hair and stuff. I would, like, you know, hair shed. So whenever her hair was shed, she never wanted me to throw her hair away. She always wanted me to burn her hair on the stove because she said it was bad luck. I can't remember the specific thing she said, but she never wanted me to throw her hair away. She never wanted me to throw my hair away. She always told me to burn my hair on the stove. She had a lot of superstitions. Even though my grandma was Christian, she obviously had like some hoodoo like somewhere in our, like, you know, lineage. Some stuff was passed down to her, and she passed a lot of that stuff down to me. I didn't realize it was hoodoo until I got older. I don't even think she knew it was hoodoo that she was practicing. But yeah, people had to hide things that they were like practicing out of survival, you know, because they weren't allowed to practice this stuff. So it's just so fascinating. But like, I could really go down a rabbit hole talking about this stuff. But yeah, I'm a Black American woman, and I'm proud to be Black American. So stop telling Black people they don't know where they from. We do know where we from. Okay. Hello.
Like to share with us concerning what?
It's concerning my, you know, me being an Afro-American. It was for an essay contest, and I was worried that I wouldn't have enough words, but it turns out I had too many in this, you know.
What did your teachers think of it?
My teachers were like, oh, that's really nice, you know.
Share with us.
Okay, it's called Why I'm Proud to be Afro-American. When I look in the mirror, I see someone who's like no other. I see a beautiful face and such a beautiful color. But when I think of myself and how I am inside, that really takes a little more thought, because that's the part I hide. My insides are more beautiful than the color of my skin. Yes, my skin is wonderful, but much more is that which is within. There is so much more to me that my ancestors left behind. The power from Malcolm, and from Martin, a peace of mind. From Martin I've learned to gain a dream, even in my youth. And oh, so much that I have learned from Sojourner Truth. Oh yes, Black people are beautiful, and many have proved out loud. And because of my ancestors, I am very, very proud. I may not have known them, except for what I've read, but still to me a part of them is not dead. That may sound funny, coming from a kid, because you think I never knew them, but in a way, I did. There is so many of them that I could talk about, because they all live within me, and with everything, they all come out. I love my color. I can say it out loud, because I'm Afro-American, and yes, I'm very proud. And when asked why I'm proud, only one answer I give. Even though my ancestors are dead, through me they live. Yes, I'm proud of my Afro-American color, because it's one of a kind. But even more am I proud of my Afro-American mind.
Oh, beautiful.
Thank you.
And your aunts like that, your mom?
Yeah, one thing my aunt, when I read it, I usually don't read with feeling. And she says, you know, Tef, read it with feeling, because that really, you know.
Yeah, that's how you touch people.
I read it. I try to think that I'm reading to myself, or like reading to my brother, because he's like, you know, read with feeling.
Yeah, when you read with feeling, you can move people.
Yeah.
And make people feel the emotion that you were feeling at the time when you wrote it.
Yeah.
That's the
so
beautiful
I try to
about
think about how I felt when I wrote it.
Right. And when that comes back to you, that puts you in that same frame of mind. To be able to do that, that is most beautiful. And you were thinking about, you know, us as African Americans, if you will.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Because, yeah, they say you're proud of your color. More, I'm proud of, you know, what's inside me, not just my color, because what's a color? So you think about it.
It's true. None of us chose to be whatever color we are. But be proud of
yeah, I'm proud of my color.
Yeah. And that's the beautiful thing about it. You were writing this kind of stuff at 11 years old.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was unusual, though.
Yeah. I don't usually. I mean, I didn't think of it as unusual. It was just the way
I did.
felt.
Because when I talked to your
It's just-
grandma, she's like, you can't believe the stuff that Tiffany writes at 11 years old. And I mean, I was just in awe.
I write what I feel. You know, a lot of people think 11-year-olds should be writing about the kind of games they play, but it's just, you know, I just write how I feel.
And things you
It's
see.
just, yeah, if some people, like some poems, they're like, you write that at 13, you should be thinking about other things. But it's going on, you know. And
Do some people sometimes look at your work and they think, well, she's growing up too soon? You
yeah.
know?
But I'm not. I'm living a regular life. People at my school, like children, are like, you know, I read that in a book somewhere. I'm like, show me the book, and then, you know, show me the book that you read that in, and then I'll believe you.
Because they don't believe you wrote it.
No.
Because of your age?
Because of my age, or just because, you know, it is.
Well, that just means that you're a special child.
Thank you.
That's very beautiful. You have enough.
Are you what descent are you guys from? Because you guys are really light. Are you guys from an island?
We black.
African American.
Black. 100% black. We not Haitian.
Okay.
Or none of that. We black.
Okay, African Americans. That's it right there.
Yes.
I'm very proud to be African American. It's not because I'm proud of America. I'm proud of what Black Americans have done and contributed to the world. That's what I'm proud of. You know, this is a continent that we just happen to be, not just happen, but the colonizers dragged our ass to. So we made the best of it. We did what we had to do. And we shook the world up. Okay? I mean, we are just the definition of resilience. We're the definition of perseverance. And I'm tired of us always having to be that. But we are. We're creative as hell. We turn fucking pig dookie scraps into luxurious food. Who else you know? Okay?
Is it just me, or everywhere I go, people always ask, like, are you African? Are you African? Like, they don't care if you're African American, Black American. They just, are you African? Like, it's like, I don't know. Am I the only one that get asked that? Like, can somebody help elaborate why? Like, we live in a day and age. Like, why does it matter what I am? Like, I don't know.
Dear white people and Hispanics, remember, today is Juneteenth for the Black Americans. Me! Say happy Juneteenth! No matter what, how.
I'm gonna start answering my phone like, hello, Foundational Black American, how can I help? Until y'all realize that I am absolutely proud of my heritage and my ancestors. I'm Black and I'm proud. Remember that.
I hate that we're having this conversation on the internet because it inherently means that it's a mixed company. But I think that we need to check our, there's a sense of entitlement that surrounds Black culture. This entitlement to Black American Southern culture specifically. I understand why or how it exists because Black American Southern culture is the foundation for almost all Black American cultures around the country. Obviously, the Great Migration has a lot to do with that, and people carry their traditions on, but also those traditions changed, and that's great and it's beautiful. And I think that, and I've seen so many people be proud of the fact that they're from LA or they're from Detroit or they're from the Bay or they're from New York, wherever their families settled. I feel like people boil down Black Southern culture. First of all, they make it a monolith because every single state is different. Being from Florida, being from Georgia is different from being from Texas. But there are similarities. There are definitely things that are are inherently similar to the way in which we interact with each other as Black people that I have noticed is different when you go outside of the South. But I think that people boil Southern culture down to soul food and cookouts. But they miss the complexity, they miss the intellectualism, they miss the radicalism, how political it is, the community that has been built, and the culture that has thrived. It is a different experience actively living in the relics and the skeletons of the very oppression of how you came to this country. And there is something so beautiful in the culture and community that we have created in those spaces. And, you know, it is something beautiful about owning property in the very county that you were property. It is something beautiful about owning businesses and thriving in places where your grandmother had very few options other than to be a maid and cook for white people or to be a teacher, and to see the communities that they built. A lot of people have this idealistic view of what it means to be radical and often downplay how thriving and pushing back in other ways can be radical within itself. It is a political statement for someone who is Black and from the South to have pride in that, however they want to celebrate it. If that means that they want to use the Black American flag, lovely. If they choose to say, this is my country and my ancestors survived horrific violence in order for me to be here, and so I'm just as American as anyone else, and they want to do that through American flag imagery, that's radical too. And just because it may not be my opinion or may not support my opinion of what that flag means, doesn't make it, I can't put that on someone else. I am sometimes brought to tears by how the sacrifices and the survival of people kidnapped, brought here, has resulted in the beautiful, dynamic, diverse cultures that exist within this country. So I just think we should check our entitlement. If you're not of the culture, it's okay if something's not for you.